Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, your Movie Apprentice, and today I am going to be looking at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, directed by Jeff Rowe and Kyler Spears. This is an animated reboot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, and this follows the Turtles in their early days as they are desperate to be allowed out of the sewer to see the world a bit more and maybe go to school and just be part of society. But of course, Master Splinter advises strongly against it. But when they happen to meet some other mutants up top and discover they are not alone, they are led down a path of trying to get themselves accepted on the surface world. Now, before I get into the review, if you could kindly drop that like and hit the subscribe button for more reviews like this coming all the time. We are very much close to the London Film Festival. I aim to get to 500 by the end of this year, so if you can help me with that, be much appreciated. But without further ado, let's jump into this review. So, to start off with, I will say that animation this year has been on a strong streak, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles definitely extends that streak. There was a genius idea with this, where the studio thought, what if, just hear me out here, what if we have actual teenagers voice the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? These are all unknown actors, and I'm going to list them off as follows. So we got Nicolas Cantu as Leonardo, Shamon Brown Jr. as Michelangelo, Micah Abbey as Donatello, Bradley Noon as Raphael, and Ao Edebiri as April O'Neil, who also is going through a startup in her life. She's wanting to become a journalist, but is still in school and is under some scrutiny herself thanks to a little incident that I will not be spoiling here. The art style in this is fantastic. One of the directors of this was one of the directors on the Mitchells vs. the Machines as well, so I was naturally hyped for this, and you can see comparisons in the art styles between these two films, and it takes a moment to get used to, as a lot of these very out there animation styles have been getting recently, but once you get used to it, it is really well done. And I absolutely love the character designs. The Turtles are, well, we know them inside and out, but seeing all these other mutants and their designs, I think my particular favourite had to be Wingnut. I really enjoyed their design, though I did enjoy the Gecko one as well, just purely as a polar opposite to Mikey in terms of his goofiness and bro nature. The story is one of acceptance, and I believe there are definitely parallels you could draw with some real life movement as well. I feel like this film does a very good job of introducing especially young viewers into the themes of people being rejected by society because of their appearance, and how you can have two ways of going about trying to gain that acceptance. There will be those that will be vengeful and vindictive against the people that have rejected them. There will be those that just want to hide and keep themselves away from the people that rejected for them. I'll have to say that the action set pieces are a lot of fun as well. I love a lot of the meta humor when it comes to the Turtles. Donatello's a big thing where they're like, hang on, why am I using a stick? Why is that my weapon? This is the Turtles very much in their earliest stages. The first fight we see in the movie is the first time these Turtles are actually using their ninjutsu abilities in a combative stance. This is very much the start of the Turtle story for these people, and I think it works fantastically. It's just nice to see the dynamic between the four brothers bouncing off each other, because there was a lot of times when I was watching this where I was seeing how these Turtles interacted with each other and some of the stuff they got up to, and anyone that's been a teenager can look at this and just feel immediate relation, because there is cringy stuff, there is very over-the-top, really stupid things that they do, and there are stupid ideas that I just think are awesome, despite the inevitable danger that is associated with these moves. I thought it was a great touch, and like I say, casting actual teenagers to voice the Turtles, it just felt natural, and the meta humor when it comes to adolescence and growing up and the hormones that are associated with it is really good. I never thought I would say Donatello was my favourite of the Turtles in any medium. I was always a Michelangelo, occasionally Raphael kind of kid. But with this one, I feel like Donatello is just my favourite all around out of the four of these Turtles. But of course, we have other mainline actors that are in this as well that are a bit more well known than the younger cast that voiced the Turtles. We obviously have Seth Rogen voicing Bebop and John Cena voicing Rocksteady. We got Jackie Chan voicing Splinter. We have Giancarlo Esposito voicing Baxter Stockman. Ice Cube voices Superfly, always doing his Ice Cube things. Paul Rudd voices Mondo Gecko that I mentioned earlier. Even Post Malone is in this, voicing Ray Fillet, a Manta Ray character. The voice actors they got associated with this to play these side roles is really well done. The film flows naturally together. I will say though that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem did lack a tiny bit of spark that I've seen in other animated films this year. Like, it was good, it was entertaining, but there was nothing that blew me away, and some of the plot points are very heavy-handed and spoon-fed. There was a direct parallel between two key characters in this that is easy to spot, but just in case you don't get it, the film forces it down your throats so it makes sure that you get it. And it just felt very unnatural the way it was forced, and the 180 these characters go through is another downside altogether. I will say with the length of time it takes for us to meet the other mutants as well, like it happens about halfway through the movie, I'll say that the new mutants actually do come into play, and I would say that because of that they get very limited screen time, and it means that the arcs that they go through on this don't feel as fleshed out or as natural. Whilst the Turtles dynamic is great, and my favourite scene has to be an interaction in a bowling alley, that whole sequence is just gold for me. It felt like once we had this slow build up in the first half, we kind of rushed in the second half. It felt like character motivations had to be thrown out through dialogue and people to spell it out for you on the screen. And that's always going to be a downside to me. I like movies that can trust their audience, especially animated movies. And this one didn't quite hit the mark for me, though it was still very effective. And I feel like the film did miss an opportunity to have a stinger at the very end. That would have been a fun little gag to have. But that is a minor gripe, all things considered. Overall for me, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem was a good time at the movies. The animation style was fantastic. The four Turtles interacting with each other is probably some of the best Turtles interaction that we have ever seen. But because of the lack of screen time of the side characters, and how things escalate and get rushed very quickly in the latter half of the movie, it doesn't quite hit the heights of some other animated movies of this year, like Across the Spider-Verse, Nimona, or Suzume. So with that being said, I'm going to have to say that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem just needs a bit more sugar. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, have you seen it? If you have, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. What is your favourite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles adaptation? What is your favourite movie? What was your favourite show? I grew up with the mid-2000s one personally, so that's my take with them. But until next time, everybody, my name is Josh. I have been your Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you all in the next video.